It looked just like just driving off the edge of a cliff. And I thought, for sure, in those seconds that I was going to be crushed to death. My name is Joe Moloney, and I survived a major train derailment. They were calling for high winds and rain. There was actually tornado warnings. And my daughter, who was 8 years old at the time, was actually begging me not to go to work that night. So I just said, Molly, it'll be all right. Don't worry, Daddy's gonna be okay. And you just pack your bag and head out. Everything was going smooth. We're going up the track. It was getting windy and it started to snow. And we came around a right-hand curve. We're just going up a very short straight stretch out of that curve, and all of a sudden, Kerry, just this look of horror came over his face, and he threw an emergency, and he just said, "Goodbye, boys." And I look forward, and it was just a black hole.
We need medical help here immediately. The engines are all on fire.
I only saw it for about maybe a second. And it was just two rails dangling as far as you could see. Just drooping. Nothing underneath them. Just a big black hole. Then suddenly, everything was quiet. It was dead quiet. And it was dark, pitch black, and I couldn't believe it. I thought, I literally had to touch myself to see that I was alive.
Four locomotives and a tanker car carrying lead sulfide went off the tracks.
But then there was a sudden feeling of, how do I get out of this? Where are the guys? Are the guys alive? I didn't know. And I yelled out. I yelled out for them. And then Kerry said, "We got to get out of here. We're on fire." He screamed it in panic. He could see the glow of a fire starting. And he said he could feel diesel dripping on him. And he was terrified we were going to burn. And Donnie was not answering. And then suddenly, with the glow of the light, you could start to see in the cab a little bit. And you could see Donnie down below, and he was all bent up, and his head was jammed down into his chest. And he wasn't moving. We thought he was dead. We thought he'd broke his neck. I started feeling around and I said, "I think I found the door to the front." And once we got outside, he said, we got to get away, because we knew that 19 cars back, we had a load of propane. If it blew, we just assumed it would just destroy everything. But the one thing I didn't want to do was leave Donnie to burn. Even if we thought he was dead, behind us is on fire. The train behind us is all, oh yeah, there's flames shooting 50, 60 feet in the air. I screamed his name over and over and over while I'm digging, when I could finally see his face, and no response. And I rolled him over, and the most god-awful sound came out of him, and I said to Kerry, I said, "Holy shit, I think he's alive." So we started pulling him, and then we said, okay, we got to get him to a safe spot. When we got out of the cab, Kerry immediately had the good sense, and he's very professional, he called the dispatcher.
He's got bad chest pain, and he's got a big gash in the back of his head. Yeah, okay, I got the ambulance on the way.
And then suddenly Carrie and I looked at each other and we said, holy shit, we made it out of that. And we gave each other a big bear hug. We knew help was on the way, but it wasn't coming fast, and we knew that. We knew where we were, we knew we were isolated. You start thinking of your family. And that's the hard part. They're home in bed, they have no idea. Well, there was a long time before anyone else was on scene. It was, I think, 2.5 hours. Then they told us they were coming down the track, and we could see the light. And Carrie shone the light up to them and said, "Can you see the flashlight?" And they said yes. And it was about to come to an end. We had to walk up the hill ourselves because they were down working on Donnie. We crawled up that hill and we looked back at that wreck, and we couldn't take our eyes off it. We just wanted to keep looking at it. We'd never seen anything like it. I figured I was just going to waltz in the hospital and that would be fine. And my supervisor was there. And the minute I saw him, the adrenaline shut off. And I think they had to help me out of the bed. And I just cried for 12 hours. This is where we went off, down in here. Our unit ended up down in there. Now it's filled in. In some ways it made me stronger. It made me realize that every day is, when they talk about every day being important, it affects everybody differently, and I'm just very grateful that I got a good family around me, and I'm very grateful for my career. I've seen other train derailments where guys didn't come home, and I'm very grateful that I got the chance to come home and have a good life.